we need to be talking about these things.
Yeah.
So good morning, everybody. Good morning to those of you on Zoom, to those of you on Instagram Live. I'm super excited for today's Saturday Style Chat, where we are talking with two of my favorite people, my hairstylists, Tamika and Deia. And we're going to talk about hair, how to take care of it, but we're also going to talk about some of the industry, just things that are double standards in the industry, how racial and social injustice affects the hair industry and the beauty industry. So if you're watching on Instagram Live, you can certainly stay there and you'll hear everybody. But I'm also going to paste a link where you can join us if you want to join the Zoom so you can see everybody's faces. And to everyone on Zoom, obviously you guys know that you can ask questions in the chat, and I'll make sure that I ask them of Deia and Tamika. But to you two, thank you both for being here, because I know even though it's a pandemic, I know things are starting to open back up, and some of those things are hair salons and being able to treat people. So I know normally on a Saturday you both would be working with your clients. So I appreciate you both being here this Saturday morning with us. So we're going to get right into business, and I'm going to just ask both of you guys to introduce yourselves and tell everyone a little bit about yourselves. So we'll start with Tamika, and then we can go to Deia.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tamika. I've actually been doing Erica's hair for forever. I love her. I actually am in school now to become an educator. I'll be graduating school soon. The salon I'm working at is going to open a cosmetology school, and it's going to be the first Black-owned school in New Jersey. So excited about that. But due to the fact that COVID has been going on, a lot of things have been shut down. So I'm really excited about that. I really don't have much to say. I just am really super excited about being here. And if you guys have any questions, I am here to answer.
Deia?
So I am Deia. I like to call if you go to my pages, Melly_J_Cosmo. Melly J Cosmo is my hair name. I've been doing hair about 20 years now. I specialize in hair care, growing hair, healthy hair, things like that. I'm also a traveling hairstylist, so if it's for whatever reason, like this virus, I do travel to certain clients. And yeah, I'm here for all the great things. We need some positivity today, some fun stuff.
Right.
Yeah, agreed. I'm super excited about that. I had thought about canceling this, and a lot of people said, no, don't, because we need positivity. We need
right.
Black creatives.
Everything.
Yeah, so I'm excited to do that. And I have to tell you guys, so it's really funny because people, when I was posting pictures of the different styles that you guys had done on me, and they're like, Erica, how do you choose which stylist you go to? And so I was like, it's actually really easy, because Tamika is my Philadelphia hairstylist. She's in Philly, South Jersey, Delaware area. So when I lived there, she was my regular stylist. And then if I have weddings or events or things like that in that area, I go to Tamika, and Deia's my Baltimore stylist. So I because she's at a salon in my neighborhood, and she did such a good job. I was like, oh, you're it. I'll follow you wherever you go. So she's my Maryland stylist, and I have a Philadelphia stylist. So that's how I choose what state I'm in at the time. And, you both actually, it's really important. And what I like, to highlight is, Deia, you mentioned it, that you specialize in hair care. And I think that's really important, because you both specialize in hair care and taking care of people's hair. So not just styling the hair, but part of the reason I love both of you guys is because you take care of my hair, my hair type, my hair texture, and you give me products and processes that don't hinder that and don't harm it. And I think that's so important, especially now, because everybody's an Instagram hairstylist, and everybody
that is true.
And I'll be like, no, these girls be taking care of my edges, they keep me moisturized, all of that stuff. So I think that's really important, just for those of you guys that are joining us, to know, is that beyond just being hairstylists, they really, both of them are hair care specialists. And so we're going to talk a lot about how to care for our hair, especially because we're stuck at home, and I have seen some massive hair fails since we've been home, and people are trying to do things themselves. I'm like, oh, that's not good. That's not good. So I'm sure y'all have seen some fails. We're going to talk about some of that stuff. But really, I want to like jump right into the conversation. And so my first question for the two of you guys is like, with things, they're not quite opening up fully. And so Tamika, you had talked about this a little bit, where normally you would have like a couple clients in your chairs at the same time because, you know, one's getting chemically processed, you could be doing something else with another client, but that's like not possible right now, either because salons are opening up or because you can only have one person in there at a time. So since some of us are still having to take care of our hair ourselves, like me in Baltimore, because stuff's not reopening until Monday,
Right.
just like a really good home hair care routine that we should be following. And maybe I'll start with Deia, and then Tamika, if you have something to add, you can.
Okay.
Okay, so I think first you have to start with a great shampoo. You have to always make sure your shampoo is cleansing your scalp, because some shampoos will add buildup, and once you see buildup in your scalp and hair, it's going to stunt your growth process. It's pretty much like clogging your pores. So you have to start with a good shampoo. I always recommend Paul Mitchell Tea Tree. That's my go-to. And they also have a color one now too, because I feel like it's everything off. Your hair is super clean after that. And then, of course, the conditioner with it. And depending on where your hair is, I would incorporate a hair mask, which I actually have one right here, which I really love. This one, Amico. Is that how you say it? Amika. I'm sorry. This one. It is the Cure, the instant repair mask. This is amazing. And you don't need heat with it. You can put it on, leave it for 5-10 minutes. I would put a towel around my head just to give it some self-heat. Like, you can heat it up on your own without, you know, sitting under the dryer, because it is hot outside. No one wants to be under the dryer right now.
Right.
You can use this. This is really good. And a different one I use is this one, the Superfood by Porosity. I love this one. I love this one because I have fine hair. This is great for fine hair people. The other one I feel like is medium to coarse. That's great. You can use it on fine hair, but use very little. This one, you can use as much as you want. This is like butter. I love this. This is the best thing ever. But just keeping your hair hydrated. That's all you want to do. Keep your hair hydrated. I'm not big on greasing scalps. Some people want to put a lot of grease and oils in your scalp, but I'm like, in the summertime, that's...
No, because you don't want to be dripping.
Exactly. You don't want to be out here looking like you're about to be, you know, cooked in the oven like a turkey.
Right.
But yeah, that's what I would say. Tamika.
You said everything. I mean, as long as you're cleansing your scalp and you're not clogging it, because I'm not big on hair oils at all. You know,
right.
At all. I mean, I do suggest oiling the scalp and everything like that. But as far as like build up and everything, when you're natural, you don't need all of that on your hair, especially right now that it's hot. Majority of people right now need to be thinking about protective styles. I mean, how they could be, because the salons are going to be starting to open. I mean, some people can find people to travel to them and get their hair braided. Yes, but wigs right now, no, I had to take my wig off. It's hot and I'm natural and I'm not about to be doing my hair every day. So I'll braid my hair up because I'll do it because it's easy for me, but accessibly wise, I mean, protecting your hair during the summertime is the best. We do not have the type of hair that can be shampooed every day. We don't. No. We will dry our hair up and it will fall out and break off. And right now, I feel like so many people just want to flock out and get outside that the first thing that we need to be concerned about is protecting our hair.
Yeah, those are really good points. And like I said, you guys are going to talk and the questions are going to start coming in. So they've already started to come in. So I'm not going to ask these in order, but the first question is, they just asked if you could list the products you mentioned again, which I think you said Paul Mitchell shampoo.
Tea tree.
And then Tamika is the hair mask for like medium to coarse hair, and then Purology is for the fine hair, right? Yeah. Okay. And I can vouch.
K-U-R-E. Amika. It's called the Intense Repair Mask, the Cure. K-U-R-E. And then the Porology one is the Hydrate Superfood Treatment.
Awesome.
Because I do believe they have a green one and a blue one, but it's the lavender one.
Awesome. And I can vouch for the Pureology because that's what Deia gives me, because I also have fine hair. And so one of our questions that we have is if you could actually define the difference between fine hair, medium hair, and coarse hair, because I think people, and this is, I think, why people sometimes struggle with hairstylists, because people see me and they say, oh, she's black, she must have thick, coarse hair. I have thick hair because I have a lot, but my hair is actually very
fine.
Yeah. Fine, yes.
Yeah,
you have a lot of strands.
Find that would be great. And I don't know who wants to. If like, I'm like, I throw it to both of you guys. Either one of you can answer.
I feel like with your hair texture, your hair texture is not a 4C. You're a looser curl wave. Like your hair is almost wavy. So if you put too many oils or anything on your hair, it's totally going to weigh your hair down because it's thin. And I feel like a lot of people feel like when they look at you, automatically the first thing they're going to think is, I need a lot of heat, I need a lot of product, and I need to blow dry the hell out of it. And you don't. Like a lot of times I feel like the less heat is the better. Yes. With natural hair, you want to train it. That is the purpose of it being natural. When it's not relaxed, the point of you relaxing your hair is to keep it straight. So when your hair is not straight, you being natural, you have to put the work in. Natural hair is not easy. Everybody's hair is not going to take the same product, and you're going to have to participate in training your hair. Otherwise, you're going to have epic hair fails. And I feel like with thin hair, you can't do a lot of oil, but maybe with somebody, I don't even have any pictures, but somebody with super large, thick 4C hair, they're going to need a little bit more heat, but it doesn't mean they're going to need a lot of product. I just feel like we have to just educate our clients.
Yes. You just have to know what to put on it. And sometimes you have to cocktail things together.
Right, absolutely.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sometimes you can't just use one product. Like I've witnessed stylists use just like oil on someone's hair, and I'm like, that's not going to do what you think it's going to do. They think it's going to, moisturize her hair, but no, actually, it's going to look like you gave her a slick down.
Absolutely.
Gonna happen, and it's just not going to work out that great. So I mean, knowing the hair and knowing what products to use, knowing what products actually do.
Right.
That's good. And so when someone has thin hair, that's actually like their hair shaft is thin, right? It's not like
it doesn't have
hair is falling out, right?
Right. So hair has 2 to 3 layers, and it's fine. Most of the time, it only has 1 or 2.
Right.
Coarse hair has 3. That's why it can withstand so much.
Heat, absolutely. Heat, color.
Yes.
A lot more. Thin hair can't necessarily take as much heat nor color. A lot of people want color right now too, because it's becoming summertime and you have to consider your hair type and your hair texture and what color your hair can achieve. Everybody can't be blonde. So that's when you have to suggest, hey, how about let's do extensions, or let me make you a unit, because I want to protect and preserve your hair. The last thing I want is somebody to say I messed or damaged their hair. And I have so many young people coming to me that are actually losing their hair because they're not educated, and the people don't care how they're getting their hair done.
Exactly.
That's a really good point. Like, I know you both are really good about being like, Erica, don't put your hair in ponytails too much because you know that my texture is fine. Or like, if I wear a weave, they'll be like, all right, girl, you got to take it out. Let that hair breathe because you don't want it pulling, those braids pulling at it. So I think that's really good to know. And so someone has a follow-up. How can they get a clear diagnosis of their hair if they have fine hair, medium hair, or thick hair?
There's hair charts. Go ahead.
I would say hair charts too, but I would find someone who specializes in hair, human natural, like not someone that specializes in weaves or braids or a cluster of things. Someone who mainly specifically works with just hair. Because I feel like anyone else, they might not really know, especially if they're doing a whole lot of different things. Like she's braiding, she's cutting, she's doing this and coloring. They're not really focused on
one particular thing. You're right.
So they might not be into that. Oh, you have thin hair, you have 4C, you have 3C. They might not be into that.
Right, absolutely.
Research and find someone who specifically deals with natural hair.
Only.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, and I think that's why I wanted to highlight, like, you guys are hair care specialists and not just like a hairdresser or a hairstylist, because I think that's why I continue to go to you guys, and I tell everybody I know to use the two of you, is because you know how to take care of hair, you know, versus, like I said, I've been in chairs before where someone's like, oh, you're black, you must have thick hair. Oh, like when I was younger and I would get a relaxer and they would put a super relaxer on me.
Oh my
And
God.
yeah,
Crying your hair.
like,
My
this
God.
not is from a hairstylist that put a super relaxer on me when I was 14 because she didn't know any better. And when I went to my stylist that I was like going to, she used kid relaxers on me because of like my hair's fine.
Right.
You know, so it's really, really important to know that. And I haven't had a relaxer probably since I started going to Tamika, right? So
Yeah, because I don't do that. Yeah, no.
yeah, I was like 10 years or like forever. I haven't had
Yeah, no.
So here is another question. So this, okay, I hope I'm saying this right, but she says, I recently learned I have low porosity hair. Porosity, I hope I'm saying that right.
Porosity.
Okay, and I'm struggling to find products that aren't too heavy for my natural hair. My scalp feels clean, but I still see buildup on my hair. So do you guys have any recommendations for that?
How often does she shampoo her hair, and what products does she actually use on her hair?
If you saw the question, you can either type the answer or you can unmute yourself and answer either one.
Because that could be a
whatever. That's like, that could be anything. I don't know if she has color in her hair. I don't know if she has health issues. I mean, it could be anything dealing with her, why her hair is doing that. And if I don't have like a specific, I'm not necessarily going to be able to give her the answer she needs. She might even need to go to her doctor to check if, you know, she needs iron or whatever the case may be.
Because your vitamin D could drop, and that could cause that. Do you know blood pressure medication does also cause that too?
Do you want to? You can go ahead and answer. I saw you unmuted.
Okay, so I probably wash my hair between every 3 weeks to every month. Only taking out braids that I had in for like 2.5 months. I do have low iron, so since you mentioned that, and then I was using I think it's called Hair Plus something. It's a newer brand that I've seen in Target that's supposed to be for natural hair.
I'm a little nervous with the Target products. One, I think a lot of people don't understand, if you drink water, that's definitely going to help your hair. Water. Just drink some water. And if you have a low iron, I would definitely suggest you take the iron because your body needs it. As far as the products, I don't necessarily know if your hair is agreeing with it. Now, when you take your braids out, do you actually condition it or do any type of deep conditioner or anything and let your hair actually breathe for at least a week or two before you do another style?
That's what I usually do, yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Minnie, what do you think?
Try this next time. Try the apple cider vinegar.
For a pH.
That'll take whatever buildup you may have off of your scalp and your hair.
Mm-hmm.
And what you do with that is, when you take your braids out, make sure you detangle your hair first. Spray I would mix it with water first and spray your hair down with it and let it soak for a little while and then shampoo it. Don't rinse, just add the shampoo over top of the apple cider vinegar so it can mix in with the shampoo.
Right.
That should get the buildup off. I would definitely see about your iron, take a supplement or something like that. I noticed with me, I started taking B12 and vitamin D, but I also started taking Main Choice. It worked for me because my hair kind of went through some things when my vitamin D dropped, and that's a sign when my vitamin D drops. As soon as my hair starts becoming kind of brittle and hard, I'm like, oh crap, my vitamin D is low. But try those things and see if they help.
Right.
Who knew? I mean, I guess I knew the vitamin thing because when I was pregnant and I was on all the multivitamins, like my hair was popping.
Wasn't it?
It was popping. Okay. And I also wonder because I know this person without putting her on like too much blast, but I know she has a baby that's around the same age as my son. And so I'm also wondering if like all of the changes in the body and getting off the prenatals and like all of that kind of stuff also might have something to do with it. I don't know, but it would make sense if vitamin D levels and iron levels and all of that stuff comes out and is affected, you know, and your hair is affected by it, that with all the changes and getting off of those prenatals, that might have something to do with it too. That's just me going out on a limb. So we have another question in there, and they want to know if either of you are able to do video consultations because they would love some one-on-one advice.
Absolutely. We would just contact me. I will give Eric can always give you guys my information.
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll post it again. Just right in the chat box is everyone's like how you can find them, and both Tamika and Deia will answer you if you like hit them up on Instagram or message them, you know, so that you can set that up with them. And I would just say, because they're Black businesses, pay them.
I mean, this is the time right now. I feel like we have got to support each other. We do. As Black women, as Black anything. I mean, we have to support each other. We have to stick together. Yes. Otherwise, we are going to fail. And I hate to say that. I want to support the next Black owner because of their performance, because of their care, because of their education. Yes. You know what I'm saying? This is what I want. This is what I desire. I want to spend my money with my own kind. We have to show up. This is it. This is our time. Yeah. And I mean, we have to come together. And as hairstylists, everybody can eat. I love that Erica put this together because it's just showing as a platform how Black women, how we all can eat, how we all can survive. This doesn't have to be catty. This doesn't have to be, oh, she does this, she does this. This is all about coming together. I love it.
Exactly. And that's what I love. And that's what I loved about my old salon. We were like a family. We all worked together. Like if it was something that I wasn't that great at, we'll say, oh, well, if that's the style that you want, this person right here would be better to you.
Absolutely. Right.
We would keep it circulating right here.
That's how it is. That's how it is at my salon. I mean,
and that's how
that's how it should be. If she feels that you can do something differently, or if you are if you're specializing in that certain type of criteria, she's going to give it to you. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what highlights how people can each eat. I don't have to do it all. We can all do it together. Right. And like, I just want to, this is great that we can all show how we can be all awesome together.
Exactly. And it might be things that I don't want to do.
Absolutely. Some things I'm just like, I don't want to do. You're right. You are right.
I don't really want to do that because it's a lot. But you know, I'll never mind. Like, even if I'm not in the salon with those people, I will still say, hey, I got a client that wants this, that, and the third. Do you still offer the service?
Right,
cool.
Right.
I'm going to give them your information. This is that person's information. Look out for them when they call you.
Right. That's how it should be. Hands down.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I mean, and I like this platform too because you guys can play off of each other, and you now have another person in your network to send people to, and vice versa.
Right, absolutely.
You know, so I think that's also been really helpful. But yes, to answer the question, you can contact them. You can book your consultation with them. You'll get their Cash App, and you can, you know, pay them. I'm also going to throw out there, because Tamika does do makeup, so if you want like a little private makeup tutorial, I bet you could pay her to do that too.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we'll keep going with the questions, and you guys are already blowing up the chat, so if you have more questions, you already know to drop them in there. So we talked a little bit about like a good hair care routine. So now I want to talk about what don't y'all wanting us do to our hair at home? Like, what should we just reserve for being in your chair? and the first thing that pops into my mind is like cutting our own hair.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, I don't know if y'all can see like everybody's faces, but I can see everyone's faces, and they're both like that.
Yeah.
So maybe you start, and then we'll go to Tamika.
No bangs. Leave the
Please,
bangs alone. Stop thinking, oh, bangs would be so cute. No, it's like a tattoo on the face.
Right.
No, it's not. Because you're going to like them for today while they're fresh and fluffy. And then tomorrow when you wake up when they're flat, why did I cut these bangs? My little cousin, sweet Jesus, she cut her bangs in the natural state.
Ooh.
And then wanted me to blow her hair out. So when I brushed it to the front and combed it, I'm like, ma'am, what happened? She had this side is fine. This side had like 3 layers going up. I'm like, so you know people had to cut all of this, right? Like all of that, because you made a big hole in the front of your head. Like I can't even hide this if I wanted to.
Oh, baby, no.
Also, store-bought color, please leave it alone. If you ever want to be blonde, ever, do not go and try to cover your grays on your own. Because what will happen is when I go to try to give you that beautiful blonde highlight that you want, it's going to turn 50 shades of green.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to put even more stress on your hair. So box color is a strong no.
We just gotta let the grays fly.
Say that again.
We just gotta let these grays fly.
Yes, Lord.
And even if you're feeling a way, you don't want them to, let me know. I will mix the color for you and drop it off and let you know how to apply it. Just do not apply box color.
That's what's up.
Yes, I will go by the color, mix it up for you, drop it off. This is what you do with it.
Oh, okay, look at that. Curbside service.
Yeah, curbside color. There you go.
Curbside color. You should sell that. I would pay good money.
Yes, CSC.
You said no grades.
But they're popping.
I get it. I didn't thoroughly think these out because now my hair's growing out and I'm like, oh, I don't think I thought this out because my grays are now. They're like, hey.
Tamika, is there anything else you want us to stop doing at home?
No relaxing, please, Lord. For anybody that is relaxing, please don't. Please. Just wait. I mean, I know that with doing chemical services on the hair that, normally anybody that is relaxed, you do have a time frame. It's a chemical. So 4 to 6 weeks or even 8, your hair could possibly be shedding, but do a deep conditioner, do a mask. Just try to preserve that because with that service, if you are chemically treated and you have color, there's a possibility that you could lose your hair. I've seen people come in. I've seen people play with their hair. They have a relaxer. They wanted party colors. They came in and their hair didn't slid off their head. Why? Because you can't do certain things. And if you do certain things, you have to have the knowledge how to do it. And that's one thing that I would definitely tell people, you can just wait on that one.
That's really good. And if you have been naughty and done something like this, when you do get into your stylist share, like make sure you tell them you did it because the other thing you don't want to happen is they are treating your hair the right way, but because they didn't know you did something at home, your hair falls out or it starts to break off or all sorts of different things. Even if you were a little funny, because I was naughty when this first started. I was like, these grays, I can't handle it, and I covered them with the bottom. And now I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna let them do their thing and show themselves. So I can get back into Deia's chair. But I'll tell her, I'll be like, I was naughty.
She's like, I was naughty.
Great. Like they were showing up all I was like, oh, I can't take this anymore. But I haven't cut anything. I'm like, it is what it is. It's gonna do what it's gonna do for right now. So I think, so just be honest. If you were naughty, it's okay. It's trying times. I did my own eyebrows because I was like, I can't take this anymore.
We have to get a lot of people. I feel like have good or itching just for somebody to touch them. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, I had to give I like did my own toes, and I was like, I have not done my own pedicure since I was in college.
Forever.
I was like, this is not the business. But yeah, so I think that's really good. So now I want to talk a little bit about what styles, trends are good for like the summer and the fall. I think especially as we think about protecting our hair and taking care of our hair. So maybe Tamika, you can go, and then Deia, you can jump in.
I love braids, all types. The knotless are definitely in, but as a stylist, I just honestly have to be real, and everybody can't get knotless. Knotless is a type of style I feel is for a certain texture. I feel like they are a little bit more expensive. So you want to be wary with your stylist once again. Make sure your stylist is educating you. Make sure your stylist is telling you, these are the products I'm using on you. These are the things that you can and cannot do to your hair. If you have weak edges, certain braid styles, I don't suggest on people, because once you lose it, sometimes it don't grow back. I love the passion twists. They're so cute. The hair is lightweight. The hair is so lightweight, and I just love them. And faux locks. I feel like those are definitely great alternative styles for people. You get long wear out of them. I'm a box braid type of girl, so I'll usually keep my braids in for about maybe 2 months. I don't shampoo them. I will use an antiseptic on my scalp. That's just me. If you feel like your hair is itchy, you may need to shampoo, but I definitely use an antiseptic on my scalp or dry shampoo or whatever the case may be. Everybody's hair's texture is different. Everybody's hair scalp is different. I don't get dandruff like that at all. So I can last a little bit longer without my shampoos or whatever the case may be. So I just honestly feel like, also a lot of people don't know that they're allergic to the braiding hair. So be careful with that, because people's scalps break out, you know, and you have to be wary about that. Sometimes you might need to shampoo or rinse your hair with apple cider vinegar and soak it, or you might have to use human hair, or you just might not be the one for braids. Right. Just be honest with yourself. One thing that I'm not about to do is let my hair itch or let it hurt or cause strain on it, because I like to do things with my hair. I don't like bald spots, and I don't want that for my clients either.
I agree. Faux locks, this is my first thing. Faux locks or any protective style like this since I was pregnant with my 17-year-old son. So this, I like it. I love it. Like I will probably have this for the rest of the summer.
It's so cute. I love it. I love it.
And it's mainly because you don't have to, like you said, we want straight hair. In the summertime, that's not a thing. We're gonna.
You're right.
It's just not. Even if you have a relaxer, your hair is not going to keep its style because of the heat and the moisture outside. It doesn't even make sense to, play with ourselves really, because that's what we're really trying to psych ourselves out. Like, yeah, it's going to last. By the time you get to that cookout, girl, it's gone. It is right. Everything. You were looking like a poodle at this point. So I will say, like, the faux locks for me, because I have fine hair, they work great for me because it's not a lot of tension. The first day I got them, I could flip them all over the place. They're not heavy. They're very light. I would recommend these for anyone with thin hair. And like box braids are great for people who have medium to coarse hair because they can withstand that pull. Right. And feed-ins. I do believe feed-ins are really good for thin hair as well. Yes. If you notice, but I'm geared towards thin hair, just mainly because I have thin hair and my family a lot. So I guess I kind of want to be an advocate for it, just to inform people like you can do things, but you just can't be out here doing all of the things. You got time to do the things you can do. So I do like the knotless. I do believe the knotless are not strained on your hair either, because I have a good girlfriend of his. Like myself, and she wears them, and she has never experienced hair loss or anything. And that's a good thing, because I do remember when you're getting those braids, we called them like how much they cost. So 200s or the 150s and things like that. 200s was like the knot braids all the way down the back. But once they're wet in the summertime, they put such a strain on your hair all around your perimeter. So I feel like with these, best thing ever. It's so light. You don't have to, you're not going to experience any hair loss. I haven't. And I don't feel any tension, anything. I'm with all that. The knotless, the faux locks, and yes. Great choice. Give your hair a break.
I'm taking notes because as soon as this is over, I'll probably be like, can we do something? Because if both of you get on me for wearing like my top knots and ponytails all the time because y'all like it my hair. So
when I wear a bun, I'll be like,
I'm like, it's just so easy and so fast. But then in my head, I hear y'all be like, Erica, stop it. Don't do that. Why you do that?
Every time I see a picture, I'm like, I'm gonna punch her. I told her this bun, she had it 2 days ago and it's back again. Why is
It's back again.
They be so mad at me. Like, they're so mad at me. I know. It's a struggle. I don't know what to do. But no, I think those are really, really good tips. And I think one thing Tamika said about like washing the hair before you get it, because I know we experienced that where we had put a style in and like less than a week later, I was like back in her chair and I was like, I'm allergic to this hair. Yeah. And so that's when we started doing that. So now I always treat anything that's going into my head or my daughter's hair before we go and get the braids and all that kind of stuff, because we did experience that. And make sure like your stylist isn't a jerk. Like Tamika was like, oh my God, we'll take this out. We'll do something else. It's free of charge. Like, don't worry about it. You know, and to like make sure, you know, hopefully whoever's styling your hair be like, okay, now you got to drop me another $200 so I'm doing something different. And like, please tip them when they do the service for free. Like, tip them, because that's what I did. I was like, I'm going to tip you what I would have paid you anyway. But you know, I think that's just really important about like the pre-treating the hair, because I know that was definitely something that like we experienced with my hair and my scalp. And I have dermatitis on my scalp, and so it's the other reason I like to go to both of them is because they both know how to like take care of my scalp as well as my hair, so I don't have breakouts and I don't have issues when I'm regularly going to the two of them and taking care of my hair, but that's because they're taking care of my scalp as well. So yes. I want to dig into talking about some common hair issues that people have and how we might be able to like stop them or prevent them. So I'm gonna throw out an issue and let you guys talk about what we might be able to do about them. So the first issue I want to talk about is hair breakage. And, you know, I think particularly like on our ends and stuff like that, or like sometimes I know I have friends and they'll be like, this piece of hair in the middle just like broke off and I don't know what's going on. So what's hair breakage, and like how can we, you know, maybe prevent some of that? And maybe we'll start with Deia this time and then go to Tamika.
So I would ask the client a few questions, like breakage in the middle, 9 times out of 10, ponytails, buns, the bun light. Like, you gotta leave it alone or you're gonna be out here with a Karen Bob. So unless that's what you're going for, you may want to lay off of them. But you know, and I like to tell people what you're using to put the bun in. Some of those elastic bands is really, they have some that are good for that. Like they have some specifically for blonde hair, which are also good for all types of hair. So, because it reduces breakage. So I feel like all of them should be made like that. But they just have this specific one that is just for blonde hair. But I would suggest everyone buy those. But also how much heat, because I know when people have weaves, they press their leave out every day, and I hate it. I hate it. Like you go to wash that hair, and you're like, "Ma'am,
look at these baby sprays.
What's going on? This is natural, and then this section here is straight as I don't know what." So that's always a thing, and you got to think, like, when it comes to your ends, you got to think your ends was once your roots, and it grows out, and it's the oldest part of your hair. So it's been flat ironed, I don't know how many times, and you've done all these things with it. And if you're not properly trimming it and trimming off the dead parts, all it's going to do is work its way up the shaft and kill everything. until it gets all the way up to the root. And a lot of people don't really realize that it can get all the way up there. But if you're not doing what you need to do with it, and you're not properly trimming it or treating it, it's just gonna keep going and going until everything's done.
That's a really good point. I never thought about that your ends are the oldest part of your hair, but like, duh.
Duh.
I never thought about that. And yeah, like, I mean, you guys are always on me to, you know, get my trims and like stay up to date with that. But yeah, I know it can go all the way up, but I never looked at it that way. So that, I don't know if Tamika, you had anything to add about the hair.
I just feel like she's absolutely right. People need to get their trims every 4 to 6 weeks. I just honestly feel like people will hold onto those little raspy ends because of for the length, and there's no fullness, you know. And it's just like, why even kill? And they have holes in their hair. That's my favorite, when clients are like, oh no, I want the back, but you know, you can, no, I need to trim it. I'm not saying I'm going to cut your hair, because there's definitely a difference in price. So I tell people that honestly, to be upfront, a trim and a cut is going to be 2 different things, but you need to keep that up. Otherwise, just like she was saying, your hair is going to be all the way up with those little pieces of hair flying away. And I hate that. I hate that, especially the real natural people that don't allow you to blow dry their hair or anything like that. They are the ones that definitely need to be trimming their hair more often, because they're not doing any heat or anything like that. So them shampooing or the custards or whatever type of creams they're putting in their hair's taking a lot more because it's wetting and drying. They're going to need to upkeep that trim. So those are the clients that you're going to have to prompt more, like, hey, it's time for a trim. Even if they don't want it, they're going to have to get it. Otherwise, their hair's going to break off. And we don't want hair to break off. Like, we all have hair goals, you know?
Right. And I want to piggyback off of what you were saying with the natural clients needing more work. A lot of natural clients are misinformed that because you're natural, your hair is healthy. That's not. Those things don't match. Just because your hair is natural, it could be a full head of natural dead hair.
Oh, you're so right.
Because you're not doing anything to it. You think because you just leave it alone, it's good. No, you still have to take care of it. You still have to trim it. You still have to treat it. You still have to do things with it. You can't just set it and forget it. That's not.
I think we're just misinformed as being Black, that it's okay for us not to shampoo our hair, or it's okay because growing up, that was the thing. Like, you're pressing curls, you leaving those braids in for weeks, your hair's not getting shampooed, your little beads, your little ballies, all of that. And we weren't taught to really take care of our natural hair, where I feel like right now, natural hair is on the cusp of the greatness, where people are more informed, people are more aware, people are doing more natural, and I love it. Like, I am so not the type of person for a relaxer, unless you are a short pixie where your texture needs it. I'm not relaxing you. Like, Erica had a pixie cut and I was just foaming her hair and just curling it. And that's just what it was. And we trained her hair to be straight because that's what I'm going to do. It's all about the health of the hair. And I mean, I feel like that's the biggest thing that we have to push to people, keeping up their hair care with their hair. Regardless if you're at home or not, you need to be taking care of your hair.
Yes, you do.
That is such a good point. Like, that's such a good point. So I want to move on to the next trouble hair issue. And this is really around having a dry scalp, which I know are like, it's interesting because I know, like you were saying, people grease the scalp and like do all of that kind of stuff, but then sometimes that actually causes more problems with the scalp. So how can we just like take care of our scalps and treat them the right way? And maybe Tamika, you can take this one. Sorry.
Like, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like with certain hair conditions that you do need to see a specialist. I am not a doctor. I cannot tell you everything that's going to be going on with your scalp. I do have the education to tell you what I'm not going to touch. If you have a scalp disorder in your scalp, maybe such as ringworm or lice or anything like that, I will not service you. And I will tell you why I'm not going to service you. It's going to be no harm, no foul. Like, at the end of the day, we all have to protect ourselves. But as far as dry scalp, a lot of people think their scalp is dry because of the lack of oil, but it is actually the reverse. you have an overactive oil gland, and that is why your hair is dry. It can be combated with certain shampoos. It can be combated with certain treatments. But you and your hairstylist, as well as your dermatologist, all have to be in the loop together. Because I know when I first got Erica, her doctor was giving her a shampoo and it wasn't doing anything for her scalp at all. And I told her to get a certain type of shampoo and it cleared it right up. You know, so you got to be more informed. She was spending a whole bunch of money for the shampoo that wasn't doing anything. And I suggest her Neutrogena psoriasis and told her just to dab it on her scalp and leave it on for a few minutes when she had a little issue, and it cleared it completely up. Now, is it going to go away? No, it's not going to go away. But can it be subsided? Absolutely. Dandruff is a disorder, and people need to be informed that this is a disorder and you need to take care of it. Putting oil or too much oil on your scalp, you're clogging it. You're only going to cause it to become worse. As far as clients with psoriasis, dermatitis, all of those type of things, you're going to have to inform them that certain stylists cannot be done on them because their scalp will break out. You have to be well aware, you know, and educating your client as far as shampoos, conditioners. I know that Millie was talking about a great Paul Mitchell. I love it because when I worked at the hair cuttery, that's the products we use. The line was Paul Mitchell. I also suggest when people start going back to the salon, whatever salon they choose to go to, have your stylist suggest a hair care system for you. If you have hair goals, tell your stylist, I have a hair goal. This is where my hair is at now. What can we do to get to where I need to be? And have them give you these things in order for you to look forward to you going to your stylist. I know a lot of my clients have been with me for years because I make their hair grow. And the only way I make their hair grow is being educated. And the only way me being educated is paying for those classes. So to be honest, I am not a cheap stylist. But at the end of the day, cheap always isn't where it's at. You want somebody to be able to take care of your hair and do what's necessary for it.
Exactly.
These are facts. She's not cheap, but she's good.
Really, 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 really good.
But before I found Millie, I was driving from Baltimore to New Jersey to go get my hair done. Because I was like, I haven't found anyone here yet. I don't trust anybody. So I will make the drive and I'll pay the money because I know my hair is going to be taken care of. And I was really lucky that I found, you know, Deia down here. And so she can take care of my hair. You know, it's closer to home now, but, you know, it's hard to find people that are trained and that continue to go to the education. Like I know for Tamika, every time I was in her chair, she was always telling me about a new class she was taking or something that she was doing. You know, and I think both of them have recommended hair systems for me and my type of hair to take care of it. And I haven't had a breakout since I've worked with Tamika, and then coming and, you know, and telling Deia, here's what we did and here's how we handled it. And her saying, okay, here we're going to use these products. And like, I got color with Deia and she was able to say, okay, and here's the products we're going to use with the color to take care of the color, but also to continue to take care of your hair and your scalp and all of that. And so I just can't stress enough as a consumer, making sure that you are picking stylists who are actually educated and know what they're talking about. And they're not just cheap, you know, because you get what you pay for.
Absolutely.
And, you know, and so you want to pay for their education. You want to pay for their knowledge. You want to pay for even just like the techniques. I remember, Tamika was like one of the only stylists that knew. I can't even remember what it's called, but it was like when you would do the bonding of the weave into like people's hair, and I can't even think of what it is. You had like
is it the Malaysian? Oh, the Malaysian, the beadless, yeah.
Like she paid for it and she took the classes, but then she was the only one in the salon that could do it. You know what I'm saying? So not only were the clients coming to her to do it, the other stylists were sitting in that chair getting it done because she was the only one. But it's so important. So like, yeah, you're paying a premium, but I'm paying a premium for those two sitting in those classes and continuing their education and knowing what to do. I mean, I remember sending Deia a picture like in Instagram and being like, okay, so I want my hair ombre like this. And she wrote me back and she's like, okay, we can't do that on your hair because it's this.
I love it.
I was like, it was gonna be real. It was like real, like super like.
No, Erica, no.
I wanted like a level 10 at the end, and I was like, man.
She's like, but here's what we can do, and here's how, you know, and you want someone that's gonna be like, no, you're crazy, you're talking nuts. That's why I hear their voices when I put my hair in a top knot. I want someone that has enough knowledge to say, we can't do that to your hair. it's
Right.
not going to be good for your hair. It's not like, that's not just like, I'm trying to make a buck, so I'm gonna let you do whatever you want to do. Even Tamika, I would want to do crazy colors. She's like, okay, well, if you want to do blue, let's do a weave that has blue in it.
Exactly.
So like we would do undercolors, but it would be like crochets with blue hair in it or something. She's like, we can't put that color into your actual hair. And so I think it's really important that you have people that are knowledgeable enough to tell you no. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'll come with some crazy ideas and they'll be like, Erica, that's not what's going to happen today. I'll tell you what can happen, but that.
I tell clients no all the time, and the guy who works, I don't know if you remember Danny. Danny, who works next to me, he cracks up laughing because of the way I say it. I'm very blunt, but I don't want you to misunderstand me, so that's the only way I know to say it. So I'll say no. That's not. No. Why? Because your hair is gonna go into the bowl, and that's gonna be.
Deia!
That's you. This color and you equals hair going down the tube.
And it could also accumulate to me losing my license and you trying to sue me. I'm not losing that. Sorry.
No,
I'm not
we
doing
don't
it.
want any of that. I'm good. Like, just let's find something else. You want to weave? I can do some micro links that add some of that highlight to it, but
yeah,
your actual hair, we not doing that.
That's a good point. People who have nothing to lose will do anything to your hair.
this is the truth.
We can do that. Come on, let's do it. Don't try.
Yeah, if you have nothing to lose, I can tell them. So I have another question. So I know you both are like multi-talented. I'm talking weaves, updos, braids, sew-ins, custom wigs, like the whole shebang. Because I've probably gotten the whole shebang between the two.
Yeah.
I want to know, what are like your favorite styles to create or things to do on people? And so maybe we'll start with you, Deia, and then go to you, Tamika.
My favorite styles to create on people are, I love balayage. Like, that's like my favorite thing to do. That's what I did on you. You had an ombre balayage. I love balayage because the difference between balayage and highlights, like when you get highlights, it creates that line of demarcation when it grows out. And so you have to come back more. But when you get a balayage, it looks like it's just growing out like that. And it's very soft, and the turnaround time is longer. It's like 6 months to like every 4 weeks for highlights. I absolutely love it. In all shades of it. And I love to create, I'm into old Hollywood a lot. So I love those luxurious waves and stuff like that. I like when someone tell me and they have long hair, they want beach waves. I'm like, yeah. Beach waves. Oh my God. Yeah, so I have a whole little party when that happens. But yes, those are my things that I love.
Tamika, what about you?
I love updos. I love them. I honestly feel like even when I was in hair school, like updos, I went to Empire. So I competed in a competition and I placed, and it was just like, oh, I guess I am kind of like sort of talented. Being in the hair world, since I'm like an 80s baby, growing up, my mom was like, this is not it. This is not the career you need to be taking. You need to go to college. People that are Black ain't making no money in the hair world. 2020, here we are. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just all about perception. And I really love doing updos, especially because updos are for more important events, more memorable events. I did your wedding. I've done weddings. And I just feel like it was just so intimate. I absolutely love it. And I love color. With me as a stylist, you can see me in green hair, purple, blue, whatever. I love party colors. Working at the hair cuttery, I became more of a colorist. I was able to become more knowledgeable of how to take care of hair as far as coloring. Not to say necessarily being in a Black hair salon that we don't know how to color. I just feel like Caucasian people take a little bit different steps as far as doing certain things as far as color. So being there, I was able to step it up a level as far as color. And as far as my clients, they've been as many colors as whatever, and back, and their hair is still healthy. As long as you're educated and you know what you're doing as far as color and things like that, your client's hair will always be healthy. But you also need to be giving them a hair care routine to take home with after you do the color.
Yes. And what I do, I have a conversation with people before they get this color, because I need to know how committed you are to this color. Because if you're really not that committed, then you shouldn't get this, because you're going to kill your own hair. It's no need. It's no need for you to get this super bright blonde if you're never going to treat it, you're never going to get a trim, and you're going to only leave it in a ponytail.
I hate it.
Like, it's going to, like, all of those things equal breakage, and more breakage. Hence, you're going to have a Karen bob. So, it's just, like, it's, no. I just need to understand, like, where are we going with this? Are you going to take care of it? Like, I had a teenage girl come to me and she wanted blonde hair. I told her, no, I'm not doing it. Because I could see the condition of her natural hair. You're taking care of this. I'm not giving you blonde, because then you're going to have a pixie in 2.5 seconds, because your hair is split almost up to the root.
That's terrible.
And you want blonde? That's just going to take your hair over the edge. No. What else you want? Because that's not it.
No, Josh, she says no. No, Josh is like no. No, I think that's awesome. And yes, Deia is a very talented colorist with the blade. You guys can look on my Instagram, or if you came here from Facebook, it's on my Facebook. And and Tamika in the updo, she did my whole wedding part, like not just me. She did my bridesmaid, she did my mom, she did the junior bridesmaid. Like she was in a hotel. She basically spent the night with us. And like the craziest part, okay, like this is like a little bit of an aside, but the craziest part was, so she came over the night before and she did like all of my bridesmaids and the little girls, so that in the morning she would just have to like touch everyone up and she could really focus on my hair and my mom's hair. And Tamika left at probably like midnight, and you came back in the morning at 6 a.m. Like, I mean, I was asleep. I was like in my sweats, looking crazy. Tamika came in full glam, dressed, makeup done, hair popping. I was like, what in the world? Did you sleep at all? I mean, she was pressed and popped at 6 a.m. And I was ready, was in her slippers, doing everybody's hair, touching everything up, backing up the makeup artists if they needed help. Like, she was just on it. So, I mean, the level of service I get from these two also is just like top notch, which is why I'll always tell everyone to go to both of you guys, because it's not just like a good result, it's a good service. I love being in both of your chairs. I mean, Tamika and I just cut up. We'll have the whole salon cracking up. Everything else, just acting a whole fool. I mean, same with Deia. Like, Deia had to listen to all this drama with my in-laws and all this crazy stuff. Like my first day in the chair, I was giving Deia all the tea. So it's also just, I mean, y'all know, we all sit and get in a chair. You want to be with someone, you know, hairdressers are like therapists. Like, these are also therapists. But yeah, so I think, you know, but just speaking to that, it shows that they love to do those things because they're so good at them, in addition to everything else that they're really good at. So I want to talk for a minute, just because of everything that's like been going on with the murder of George Floyd and in racial, I'm like totally switching gears here, guys, but we'll get back to the fun stuff. But I wanted to make sure we get it in before we get to the end of our session. So with like the murder of George Floyd, racial injustice just really being at the forefront of everything that's happening right now, I know what's coming out is a lot of discussion around racism and racist systems within different industries. So like I think about, I left the finance industry after 13 and a half, almost 14 years. And I could do a whole Saturday style chat just on like racism in finance. But I know that's not the only place that it is. And I know in the beauty industry, there's a lot of racism, a lot of racist constructs, a lot of, you know, racial injustice and social justice issues in the industry. So I would love for you guys to just talk about it a little bit. I know Tamika and I were rapping a little bit before this started, so maybe we'll start with her about how like she has to, or that both of them really have to know how to do white people hair and Latinos hair and Asian hair, but white stylists do not have to know how to do black hair. It's not a requirement for them. And I know that there's probably some other examples that the two of you guys could give and just talk a little bit about in the industry so that we can think about it as we're going to places of business. So maybe Tamika, I'll start with you, and then Deia, you can jump in after.
I worked at the hair cuttery for 2 years, and that definitely was an experience. I was the only Black person that worked there. So all my clients at the salon I was originally working at left, and they came, excuse me, to the hair cuttery with me. Now, people were getting braids, weaves, whatever, because that's just what we do. Like, we're so versatile. I love us. But it was like, white people will walk up to my clients and try to touch their hair or comment on length, or it was just so derogatory. I not only had to use the Paul Mitchell line, which was fine because I loved it, but I needed product line to cater to my clientele. They had none. I worked there for almost a year before they actually got a product line for me. And I had to write people, you know what I'm saying? I had to contact people. And I was so confused about that, because how is it that you can walk into the hair cuttery and you have on the pamphlet that you guys service Black people, but you guys do not? Because anytime Black people would come into the salon, they would have to sit in my chair. Why? Because they did not want to do it. It was like they would run to the back and be like, I don't want to do that. Tamika, come out here and do it. And that pissed me off. It pissed me off so bad one day that a Black woman came in there and they were like, Tamika, you got her. And I was like, no, I don't. No, I don't. I took my Black ass and I sat in my Jeep. And I'm sorry, because I had to teach them a lesson. Like, no, you are not about to discriminate. I do everybody here. You know why? Because money is green. Period. Exactly. I don't look at race. That's not what I do. When I went to hair school, I signed up to do it. Everybody's hair. So, excuse me, I'm so confused that if I spent the same money that this white person spent, how come they frown their face when I come into the salon? How come it's like, oh, we don't have anybody to do your hair type? We all went to the same school. Raziris took out their ethnic course. They don't even do Black people hair no more. You know what I'm saying? That is why I'm so glad that I'm at a salon where they are opening up a Black cosmetology school so we can empower our own. Because there's no reason why a white person shouldn't have to do the same thing that I should. But at the end of the day, that all comes down to racism. We all have to know there is a line. There's a separation. And it's sad, but that's just what it is right now. And we all need to learn that we need to support each other. Not to say that you can't support the next person, but are they really supporting us? No. Because I worked there. And the only reason why I left is because I was working at 2 salons. And another Caucasian girl got mad and told them. But before she told them, I had made the salon almost $60,000. That wasn't, I didn't get all that. That was in a year. Capitalizing off of my money, off of my clientele, because I brought those clientele there. Due to the fact that I brought those clientele there, it caused more Black people to feel comfortable and come in. Yeah. Is it hair? I guess not. Because working there, it really showed me, wow, you will be discriminated against. But their platform as far as finance, how they take care of their employees, how they do bonuses, how they give people healthcare, bomb. They take care of their people, but not us. So that's why I left. And it's sad because I've been to so many salons and it really doesn't matter, because you always will have your pros and cons, but you don't want a conversation where it has to be about race. That's when you gotta go. And that's when I knew I had to go. Because one thing you're not gonna tell me is where I can work or who I can work on.
Exactly. Yeah. So with my experience, I started out at hair cuttery just like she did, and everything she said is correct. A lot of products were geared towards our hair. So I would have to, and then they don't want you to really use outside products either. So I would have to, sneak certain things in, because I'm sorry, you're not getting out of my chair looking half done. No.
Right. No,
so
I'm not.
I'm going to do whatever I need to do on my end to make sure you're getting everything. And yes, you come across stylists who, I actually had a conversation with a girl at Bubbles, because they put a natural client on her book, and her hair wasn't even like super coarse. It was like wavy.
Mm-hmm.
So she did this. I could have told her exactly what shampoos to use, how to blow it out, and it would have been fine, like as if I did it. She was just like, no, I can't do that. No, they're gonna have to move her. But the is literally standing right here. And wow. I livid. I said, what you're gonna do is move my around, take this person, put this person over here. Ma'am, I'll be right with you. You can have a seat or you can walk around and I'll be right with you, okay? Because that, to me, she just blew her off like as if, whatever.
She was an animal. Like, she was nothing. She was like what? But that's what happens in the workplace. That is what happens.
Yes. And then she came over to me to say, well, I don't know. I don't do natural hair. I said, excuse me, because this was probably rude, but I didn't care. I was pissed. I said, oh, so you a half hairstylist, huh? You just a half one. Oh, okay. I'm just making sure because you don't do everything, right? So you just a half one. And she just was like, well, I guess I am. Yeah, because you don't do a lot. You have a long list of things you don't do. Whereas though I have to do everything. I have to do men's cuts, black and white men. I have to do Caucasian women and black women and Indian women and Asian women. You name it, I do.
Right.
And I don't have a choice in it. It doesn't bother me because I like all hair textures.
Right.
But I don't have a choice to do it. Why do you have a choice?
Right.
And you can sit there and be rude and say, no, I'm not doing this. You don't even want to try to learn.
Mm-mm.
Like if we're telling you, we're going to show you how to do it. We're going to have a texture class. They're like, no, for what? It's mind-boggling, and they allow it.
They allow it. Absolutely. They allow it in the workplace.
Yes, they allow it.
And it's really sad. You can't subject people to think that you're diversified as far as a salon by having ethnic people on a pamphlet and not accommodate them. That's discriminatory. And it shouldn't be happening at all. But it is. It happens so much in this hair industry. It is really sad. When it comes to this hair industry, it's Caucasian and it is Black. We are not unified at all.
No.
But I guarantee you, those Caucasians will come over and take what we're doing, because what we're doing is making money.
Exactly.
That's what's messed up. That's what's really messed up. You want to learn how to braid? Now y'all want to do the edges. Now y'all want wigs. All of it. We can't have nothing.
When I tell you that when microlinks came out and they were showing, I was like, this isn't new.
I've been doing this. Right.
This is old. This is at least 15 years old. What? Like, I could not believe, like, we did that first. That's ours. Did you just steal it? I think you just stole it.
Right.
It's but we're just wigs, like they want to wear wigs now, and I'm like, that's our thing. Why do you need a wig?
Well, it's not even that it's our thing. It's also that when we were wearing wigs, when we were wearing weaves, when we had finger waves, when we were doing all these creative hairstyles, it was ghetto.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, so it wasn't, it's not just that you're stealing our style, it's that you put us down for the styles. You said it's ghetto, it's not appropriate in the workplace, you can't wear cornrows, you can't do these things, and then you turn around and you take it from us.
Mm-hmm.
And now suddenly it's cool. Now they're not cornrows, they're called, I forget what they tried to, boxer braids.
Boxer braids.
Girl!
We did, I forget. Oh, what is it?
When Kim Kardashian did her braids, when she did, but Bo Derek, even when Bo Derek did the braids, baby, they were already done. They were already, you made history as a Caucasian woman. Right. We always had braids. I mean, like, what? This is what we do.
I mean, stuff like, y'all just catching the wave. We've been on it.
Right.
Like,
So, But but again, that's truly, like, that just shows you how ingrained the racism is into the system, that, like, you don't even think for a second, like, you called us ghetto and then you appropriated us at the exact same time.
Right.
Because that's like textbook racism and textbook, that sort of thing. And I think, to both of your points, I even remember back when I was in high school, and my stylist was always leading the march and saying, like, the white women that I work with should have to know how to do black hair.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that the black people can only go to the 3 black stylists in the salon and can't go to anyone else, and no one else will touch their hair. But then they want to come, when I'm getting my updo for prom, they want to come and watch and see how she's doing it and seeing the finger waves and all of that kind of, like, it doesn't work that way. And it doesn't work that way. Or even, I think about like going on shoots, because sometimes, like, I'll style shoots for people or things like that, and, like, if they book someone that's a black person, but then they don't have a hairstylist that can do black hair, or they don't have a makeup artist that has skin tones for black people, and it's like, it's 2020. Like, why don't, I'm like, you just go buy the Fenty kit and put it in there, and then you're done. Like, it doesn't even make any sense to me why you wouldn't have a foundation that matches. So, like, all of my friends that are black women that are models and things like that, they bring their own makeup, they bring their own hair stuff, and because they're so used to do it themselves, because they're so used to having people that don't know how to do it, which again just gets into the issues of, like, diversity. Why don't you hire some talent of color?
Right.
Because it's like a closed, from what I understand, because I just had this conversation with her name is Akeisha. She's from New York. She got to work on the set of Power, actually. And I was asking her, how do you go about, because it's a union that you have to get into. So you start networking and doing, like, hair on sets and everything like that. And she said, even though she's been in it for, I believe she says 10 years, she said it's still hard to get new people in. She said it's kind of like, it's like a who you know, and they only let a certain amount of us in. But at the same time, like, they'll send, like, a Caucasian woman to do a black girl's hair and then screw it up, when in all actuality you could just had a black woman on that. They knew what she was gonna do. Like, they know the answer to the problem, but they have this thing under such lock and key that they don't. I honestly feel like they know what we're capable of, and they don't want us to get in there and conquer it, because we, like we said earlier, we can do everyone's hair. They can't. Now, if enough of us get in there, we're gonna end up blackballing them, and not on purpose, just because our talents run that deep.
Right. Absolutely.
And I feel like that's really why they control that so much. Like, they just don't want us to get in there, and it's really hard. But guess what? I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna try. I might be 50 years old by the time I get in there, but I'm gonna keep trying, because it's something that I'm very interested in. And they've always spoken on, like, it's hard for them to get their hair done because it's a lack of stylists, which is crazy, because it's so many of us.
Right.
They
Absolutely.
never have a lack of stylists, ever. They should never come on set of $1 million movie and not have one of us there for them.
Right.
It doesn't add up. No, it doesn't add up.
Right. So, it's just, it's so interesting, because just so many of the conversations I've been having with people is just, people don't even realize how deep systematic racism runs, right? People, like, because people are like, why do black people say they're exhausted? Why are people of color exhausted? And I'm like, because it literally affects every single area of our lives. Like, we all can't take our skin off, right?
It's in our DNA. That is sad.
It's in our DNA, but then it's in when we go to work, we deal with it. When we're in the car driving, we deal with it. When, you're on Facebook and you see that white friend from high school that just says something real crazy, you know, like that's when you're dealing with it. And that's what I've been like trying to make people understand is like, this isn't just like something we see on TV every day. Like, no, we're not saying, yes, we're seeing people lynched all the time because Black people are being killed, but we're not tired from that one instance. We are tired because every day from the minute we wake up, I would say most Black people, if not all of them, your life is always filtered through the lens of your race, whether you want it to be or not, starting when you're a kid, right? Like starting with that 3-year-old in preschool that gets labeled as rambunctious when he's just as active as the little white boy that's 3-year-old, because 3-year-olds are active, right? Like that's just what it is. They're 3 and they're wild and you know, and that's like what it is. You know, and so it's like starting literally from being that small and that tiny and having those labels go with you all through middle school, all through high school, you know, all through college. And then on your job, okay, we're tired because this is every day. Like I was talking to someone this morning, you know, and saying how, like on my job before when I was in finance, I had a boss who told me, Tamika, you'll remember this, I had come in and I had gotten some crochet braids. And I mean, they were beautiful, just curls, just popping, just popping. And she came to me and she put her hands in my hair and said, what is this? And then after that, she said,
I hate it.
I can't put you in front of clients and prospective clients with your hair like this. Now, she said this to me. I was her top selling salesperson. I sold 347% of my sales goal. And you're telling me you can't put me in front of people because of how my hair is? And so I was like, well, I'm still going to do what I do. I'm still going to sell. I still was winning clients with my low hair. And then I came in, you know, a couple months later and had just, you know, like a regular sew and weave or whatever. And so she walked up to me again in a meeting in front of all my other peers and was like, more of this and less of the other stuff. It is so yes, more
yes,
to the other side. First of all, I'm like, yo, stop touching my hair. But
I wanted all hands. I wanted to put all paws on her. Why would you disrespect her like that?
Like, give me the address to your office. Let's go.
That's where I'm at. Like, ma'am, I would break your hand.
Break your yes. The nerve.
It's
the nerve.
And it's like, it's everywhere we turn. Like, that's why we're tired. And I don't even think people give it a second thought if you're not a person of color. Like, if you're not a person of color, you never have to walk in a salon and say, is there someone that can do my hair?
Right.
Versus anytime I walk into I'm like, is there someone that can do my hair? Unless it's like clearly a Black owned salon.
Right.
Funny,
I'm like,
that's how I met you.
Right.
You remember what you said?
My husband and I were walking through our new neighborhood, and we were walking, and my husband's like, because I had driven past it a whole bunch of times, and my husband's like, well, you should just go in there and see if someone could do your hair. And I was like, they can't. You know, I'm like, we live in this gentrified neighborhood. There's nobody in there can do my hair. And he's like, no, just come on, go ask. And so I stuck my head in, and I was like, hey, is there someone that could do black hair? And Deia was there, and she's like, yeah, I can do it. And I was like, okay, give me your card. And that's why I booked with her. Because I had to go in and ask, is there someone that could do my hair?
I thought it was the funniest thing ever. I understood it. I was cracking up when she laughed. Like, oh, man. Okay, I know what you mean, but that is hilarious.
Yeah, I'm like, and it's not that I don't love Tamika, but I was like, I'm tired of driving to New Jersey from Baltimore.
I know.
It's the one, you know. But that's true. Like, you have to walk in and be like, is there someone that can do my hair? Because I've had an experience where they told me they could do Black people hair, and then I left ready to fight somebody. I don't fight. I might break a nail, but I was ready to fight that day. They're like, oh yeah, I can do it, and they don't know, and they don't understand, and they haven't had to study it and take the time to learn the you know. I think to both of your points about having the right products in the salon, because I remember Tamika sneaking me product in her purse and being like, okay, this is what I'm gonna get you, and I'd be like, okay, girl, I got, you know, extra $30 for you, slide me the product. And she would like drop the product in my purse. You know, we was having a whole exchange of just because the salon didn't carry what we needed. I remember her fighting for a year. And I remember
call it conscience at my
She
salon.
did, it was on display. And I was like, well, I'll just buy all of it, please and thank you.
Gosh.
Crazy. It was
I think it's
crazy.
I think it's crazy that as hairstylists, we have to spend 1,200 hours in school, and cops don't even have to spend, what is it, 300-400, whatever hours there are. I'm back in school as an educator, and I have to spend another 600 hours in school.
Lord, Jesus.
And cops are not doing none of that. I'm just a little perplexed. If I am only fighting hair battles, and they're supposed to be fighting injustice and keeping us safe, why is their hours so little? I'm so confused.
While they're having so many issues, because
Right.
I can't believe that they to put your knee on the back of someone's neck, especially when you have two other people at the other end of their body. I can't believe that that's what they're teaching you, because it doesn't make sense. It's no need. The person, he's not even moving. It's two people on top. It doesn't make sense. And even just the way they approach. I've been in situations where I could clearly see two different reactions. Being in Towson, when the turtle lets out, it's different. When they're talking, when they're drunk and wobbling around and fighting and the police are involved, it's a lot different. Now, if we're downtown and we're outside and we're not even fighting, we're just drinking and laughing and kicking on the way to the car because it's a let out. Oh, move along. You need to move. It's completely different. The energy when they approach us is different. And I don't want to believe that they're teaching them that. I just honestly feel it's the person in the uniform that is taught that from birth.
Yeah, hate is taught from birth. That's not taught in the academy. I'm not faulting police. I'm not saying I hate police. I'm hating what they're doing. I'm hating the fact that they're using their platforms to kill us. That's what I hate. I'm not saying I'm out here and I want to fight on the cops. What I'm saying is, why is it that y'all are allowing these people that have issues, that are low self-esteem, that want to bully because they've been bullied, that are out here because they are racist? Why are they employed?
And why are the ones that know allowing it?
Right.
Because you know when you have, when you with someone that's racist, or just not really fond of black people, and they will tell you.
They will.
How comfortable they are. My dad's a racist. They will come out of their mouth and say it. So, and I'm pretty sure they've been around them during certain situations. Why are you not checking them in these situations?
Right. Well, and I think in that situation in particular, where he had like 18 against him or something like that. So like, not only were there other people that knew, there were superiors that knew that there was a problem and didn't do anything.
Right.
And I think you get into the structures of everything, but even just bringing it back, like to like when you were saying they're different when there's a group of black people out. I mean, I even remember being in the salon with both of you guys before, where we're in a chair kikiing it up and having a good time because that's what we do, and other white people in the salon being uncomfortable with just our black woman joy and the fact that we can laugh and have a good time, and people looking at us or other stylists being like, y'all need to keep it down, like all those different things, because they're so uncomfortable with black people being anything outside of like what this box is that you're supposed to be. And I don't think people intentionally do it, right? Like, I don't think they're actively like, I don't want to see black people having fun. I think there's so many messages and so many things that you see, like on TV, you don't see black people having fun. You see black pain. You see black criminals. You see black struggle, right? Even when there are Oscars won in the movies, it's never like a black joy. It's like Precious, which is, like that 12 Years a Slave.
Oh, Lord.
Like, those are the movies that win the Oscar. So they're just, it's not even like they're intentionally doing it, but they don't see and get messages of black joy and black success. and anything out of this narrative that gets perpetuated over and over and over in like all of these different ways, and it permeates into all of the industries and places we work, including the beauty industry, including the hair salons, down to, like I said, we'll be in the chair kikiing it up and people will be like, you guys need to keep it down. Like, what is so funny? You know, like, that's our favorite thing. What is so funny? No,
business.
Right. Matter of fact, you, Carrie.
Okay, right. And so I, you know, and I think, so it's so interesting because I feel like now we can have those conversations and explain it. Whereas before people were like, oh, you're just paranoid. Like, I remember, you know, you're just paranoid. Like, no, I'm not. People are just actually uncomfortable with those kinds of things. So I think it's just, you know, it's so interesting now to think about how it touches every one of our industries, not just like policing and things like that, but like in the beauty industry.
Yeah.
You know,
We had even clients and bubbles that we had a like, say one of the Caucasian stylists needed help. Like, they needed me to wash their color out or the toner out or something like that. Their client would not want me to touch their hair. And at first I was like, why she won't get in the bowl, man? You have to put your head in the bowl. But then I realized, oh, okay. And I actually was like, excuse me, miss, I'm gonna go talk to such and such. And I went and told the stylist, like, I don't think she wants me to touch her. So you should probably get someone that looks like you to do it. And she just was like looking at me like I was crazy. And I'm like, I'm dead serious. Like, if you see, this lady looks like she's in pain.
Relax. You gotta relax.
Yeah, like,
Neck all stiff.
Miss. I mean, the longer you sit there, the darker your color gonna get. But hey, if that's what you're going for, rock out, sis.
Right.
well, and I would say to the
It's a lot of that kind of thing.
yeah, the people that are watching and the people that are going to watch this replay, because I know that my platform, my followers are not just Black people and people of color. Like, I have a lot of white followers, a lot of white people who are going to watch this replay and want your hair tips because it's good for all hair. When you see behavior like that, speak up and say something, because you, like, it's hard to be in a position where that's your job.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to use your job, right? Like, we all have kids. We all have people that we have to provide for. And so one of the hardest things is, like, to be in a position where someone is being overtly racist to you, it is on your job and you have to suck it up. And so if you're in the chair, you're in the salon, you see someone acting like that, call them out on that. It's going to be scary for you in that moment, but it's not like living this reality all day, every day.
Right.
The only way you're going to stop racism, stop racist behaviors, and stop companies from allowing that to happen is to stand up. And if you're the other stylist and your client is doing it, check them, and then also tell the company. You know,
right.
These companies are all out here making statements, and we stand with people. Standing with people is kicking out clients who are blatantly racist.
Right. If the company stands with you, the company is for Blacks, stand with us. Just don't donate money for the appeal of the white and Black vote. I need you to be on this forefront with us because we are hurting. And it should not be like this.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, 12:35, and I know this took a turn for the all the way serious, but I do feel like it was just important for us to have that conversation. I think shed some light on what is happening in these places where you guys are working. And, like, it makes me angry because I'm like, no, they're just, y'all are talented, y'all are dope. Like, you should also have to be fighting racism. Like, you should be allowed to be talented and dope and, like, call it a day, right? But you know, unfortunately, as long as you guys are Black, you're gonna be talented, dope, and fighting racism, right? Maybe we should, like, make a T-shirt that says that: talented, dope, and fighting racism.
I love it.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll put that on a shirt. I'm gonna get us a shirt. Talented, dope,
Please
and fighting.
do. I will definitely rock that.
I love it.
Okay, done. New project. I love it. No, I'm so serious. Y'all gonna see this pop up on, like, Monday. Talented, dope, and fighting racism. But, you know, I just think it's really important to people know that even, you know, in industries we wouldn't be thinking about it because we're not lawyers, we're not, you know, like we're still fighting that. You guys are still on the front lines every day, and on the front lines because you are learning things that other people and your peers and your colleagues aren't having to learn. And so I think it's really important for people to know that. But I do want to be sensitive to your time and the time of everyone that's watching and people on IG Live that are watching. And I do want to wrap this up, but I do have 2 final questions for you guys. So the first one is just how can people find you and book you?
Well, with me, you can find me on Instagram, Millie, MILLIE_J_Cosmo, COSMO. Lord, I forgot. I definitely had a moment just now. Okay, you can just DM me, or you can, reach me through via text message on my phone, 410-350-9514, or Facebook, Deia Hawkins, DEIA Hawkins.
And Tamika?
My page is Hair Life with Tamika. Erica, do you have it on your page? Because I'm not too sure how I spelled it. But for my phone number, because I'm like definitely not in the loop right now, I'm sorry. 856-264-3562 is my telephone number. And you can text, call me, whatever the case may be. And as far as my Instagram, you can DM me as well.
Yep. So, and I pasted links to both of their Instagram, so you can just go into the group chat and click the link, and it'll take you straight to both of their Instagram accounts. So that is awesome. And just so you know, so they both travel, but Tamika is based like in South Jersey. So she does South Jersey, Philly, Delaware. I know she'll travel. Same thing with Deia. Deia's from Baltimore, but I would say anyone in Maryland, DMV, like get at her. Because like I said, they're both willing to travel. They're both super talented. You can go on my Instagram, my Facebook, and just see some of the work that they've done. Because like literally I was like getting a folder together of all the times I'll have done my hair, and it was literally like 50 photos. And I was like, you know, I'm gonna so I just picked like 7 or 8, but like for real, like I have like just anything. I mean, I've had custom wigs, custom colors, pixie cut, you know, precision pixie cut, bobs, weaves, sewing, crochet, like they can truly do it all. So I think that's just really important to know. And then the other question I want to just throw out to you guys, because everything is not opened up yet. How can people support you during this time? I know someone had asked earlier, can they book a consult, like a virtual consult with you? Is there anything else people can do besides booking virtual consults with you to support you at this time?
Get their hair done. We travel. So with us both traveling, if you want your hair done, I do add a travel fee. I mean, if you are out of the state of New Jersey, it's not very expensive, but at the end of the day, I am driving, gas, tolls, whatever the case may be. But it is what it is. If you want your hair done, I am very safe. I do have clothes, I have masks, I have gloves, I have booties. I'm geared up because some people are very paranoid. And this is all about us being both safe. So, I mean, in order to support, if you want your hair done, come get it done. Because at the end of the day, even though the state's saying we're opening in June, doesn't mean we're necessarily doing it.
Exactly. And we need to, continue with getting paid, because ultimately this is our jobs. And like I said, like she said, just to continue what she said, I also wear masks. I make sure I sanitize everything thoroughly after every single client. A lot of times I will still sanitize again in front of the client just to, reassure them that everything's clean. And yeah, I traveled and I've incorporated a questionnaire too. Like I'll ask 2 questions like, have you been around someone in the last 24 hours? Have you come in contact with this person? And I'll ask the person actually, what type of work are they in? Like, are you in the healthcare? Like, I need to know, because I need to know possibly where you've been, because something that you might not think is a big deal, it might click something in my brain. Oh, she works here, so she's possibly been around these people and this type of thing, so she might be at risk more and not even know it. So I'm very aware, and I take a lot of precautions. Like I said, I'm terrified of COVID. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Sorry,
Well,
I'm
I
trying
look forward to hearing from whoever's going to contact, get our life together, get some of these co-locks popping, so you can sweat up a storm this summer, because it's hot.
It is hard.
nowhere. So I might be calling you. I might be like, I need you to make a house call because it's too hot and y'all said I can't top knots.
Yeah. We had one last week. I shouldn't see it this week.
Okay.
No top knots, right? I've seen two. I've seen it.
I know, I wasn't
Listen, I seen it.
I said, oh, she got that bum pulled up high. She got that all the way on the top.
Laid. I said, that's all right. I'm gonna get her. Mm-hmm.
Right. Record my Insta videos with my hair down and then with my hair. No, I'm not. That's too much work. No, but I'm gonna throw it to you guys listening. Do you guys have any final questions before we hop off? So you can just put a comment in the chat box if you want to and let me know, and I'll ask any final questions. So I'll give you guys a second to do that. And while I just wait, Tamika, Deia, thank you so much. This was awesome. It was a great way to spend Saturday morning.
Okay. So fun.
Thank the both of you guys. It was so good to see both of your faces and just talk about everything. I mean, we talked about hair, we talked about racism, we talked about being Black business owners. We didn't come up with t-shirts design. So I'm gonna get on that. And so I do have a question. I think because this person joined a little bit later, so we missed in the beginning. So can you talk about hair porosity and different hair textures in a person's hair?
So, everybody has numerous textures over their head. There's never one texture, and you might have some curls in the back, and you might have some different type of things going on in the back of your nape. The porosity also is determined if you're healthy, you're drinking your water, if you're color treated, if you're chemically treated. Now, when she's asking about porosity, does she want to know as far as like what she can do as far as conditioning, shampooing? What am I answering as far as the question?
She said yes.
Now, shampooing and conditioning, I think this is Grace. This is one of my clients. You could actually, hi, hair mom. I love my clients. They call me their hair mom. I'm definitely into it. We do have hair kits that we're selling at the salon. And we're also, if she wants a certain product, I can order it through my license and send it to her, drop it off, or whatever the case may be. Just text me and let me know what's going on.
Awesome. So I think that was our last question. So I definitely want to just thank you guys for joining us and let you know that the replay should be up probably like sometime tomorrow because I have to wait for the cloud to finish and all that good stuff. And then for those of you guys viewing, thank you so much for joining us. And I'll have a chat in July. I'm just still working on the speakers, but I think it's going to be something hopefully really cool if I can get the 2 speakers that I want. So I don't want to jinx it. I'm not going to say anything yet, but the next Saturday Style Chat will be in July. I just want to thank you guys again. Tamika, Deia, thank you so much. I just love seeing your faces.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm sending you guys so much love, and thank you for joining us. Bye!
Bye!